At 87 years old, I'm sitting on a fortune most people would spend their entire lives chasing. I have the houses, the investments, and the financial security I once believed would make me feel like a king. But today, I want to tell you something that might offend your ambition. Something your financial advisor, your boss, and even your own ego don't want you to hear. In the face of time, money becomes remarkably powerless. This may be a long conversation, but if you're still in the race for more, it might be the most important one you'll ever hear. I spent 60 years chasing bigger numbers, convinced that once I reached a certain level of wealth, the anxiety would stop and real living will begin. I hit that number. Then I doubled it. Now, when I look at my bank balance, I realize I traded the only currency that truly mattered for paper and digital digits. I learned that money is only a tool for the young. At 30, money feels like freedom. At 50, it feels like security. But at 87, money often becomes a reminder of what you can no longer do. I have the wealth to fly anywhere tomorrow, but my body prefers the comfort of my own chair. I can afford the finest meals, but my health requires simplicity. We spend our health to get money, and then we spend our money trying to get our health back. Money is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. It can buy a bed, but not sleep, a house, but not a home. I learned too late that the usefulness of wealth has an expiration date. I once believed my greatest duty was leaving a large inheritance for my children. I worked longer hours and missed family time to build that legacy. But I eventually realized my children didn't need my money in their 50s as much as they needed their father when they were teenagers. By the time they receive what I built, they will already have their own lives and responsibilities. I traded presents for provision. While money can offer comfort, it can never replace the memories we never made. If you are exhausting yourself for your children's future, make sure you're not sacrificing the time they actually need from you now. I also wasted years trying to impress people who were never really watching. I bought cars that looked successful to neighbors I barely knew and wore expensive watches to feel important in rooms full of strangers. At 87, I can tell you no one is thinking about your car. They're too busy worrying about their own lives. Luxury is often just a distraction from a lack of inner purpose. True wealth is not needing to prove anything to anyone. We are sold a dream that tells us to work endlessly so we can enjoy a short retirement at the end. But a beach is just sand if you don't have a reason to wake up in the morning. I saw many friends retire with millions, only to lose their sense of purpose within months. Money can buy comfort, but it cannot buy meaning. A man needs a reason to live that has nothing to do with his bank balance. Every dollar we earn has a hidden life cost. It costs sunsets we didn't watch, conversations we were too tired to have, and moments we can never get back. When I look at my wealth now, I don't just see money. I see thousands of hours of life spent earning it. If I could trade every cent to be 40 again with a healthy body and time ahead of me, I would do it instantly. At 40, time feels endless. At 87, it feels like a closing door. Experiences also have an expiration date. There are adventures meant for certain stages of life. Backpacking at 22 is exhilarating. At 87, it's exhausting. By postponing joy in the name of building wealth, I often erase the chance to experience it all. Life is not something you can store for later. It is perishable. As my wealth grew, it also built a barrier between me and the truth. The richer I became, the fewer people were willing to be honest with me. Money can surround you with people who agree with everything you say. The people I value most now are those who don't care about my bank balance at all. If your only value is your net worth, you become the poorest man when life strips everything else away. Wealth also comes with a burden. It requires constant management and worry about markets, taxes, and maintenance. I eventually realized my possessions were possessing me. I spent more time managing my wealth than enjoying my life. Simplifying my life brought me more peace than any investment ever did. The only time money feels meaningful to me now is when I give it away. Generosity is the only way wealth still feels alive. Seeing how it can directly help someone else brings a return no market ever could. The only money you truly keep is the money you use to make a difference in someone else's life. At 87, I understand that no amount of wealth can stop time. Accepting my mortality freed me from being controlled by money. I finally became the master of my wealth instead of its servant. If you lost all your money tomorrow, what would you have left that still matters? That is your real net worth. I spent decades believing endless striving was the price of being a man. I was wrong. Success is not a number. It is the absence of regret. I see people working 70 hours a week for their families, but families want your presence more than your paycheck. Today, I have the millions I once chased, yet the greatest joys of my life are free. The sound of the wind, the taste of fresh fruit, the laughter of a friend. I replace greed with gratitude and worry with wonder. Don't wait until you're 87 to realize that the richest person is not the one who has the most, but the one who needs the least.